Hello, everyone. My name is Zamira.
My name is Safiya.
And last time we talked to you about some of the research and reports we read about Roundup or glyphosate. And today we want to talk to you a little bit about some of the solutions that we came up with on how the risks of this product can be minimized. As we heard before, Roundup is the IARC has deemed Roundup to be a carcinogen, and other studies have shown it to be negative, have a negative impact on the environment. So these are some of the steps we want to recommend to minimize the risk of this product towards humans as well as the environment.
So the first recommendations we have are for farmers, which are a group of people that have been really heavily affected by glyphosates. Many farmers have developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma due to their exposure to it. So some recommendations that we have, starting off with just wearing protective gear. It might seem like a simple one, but the less amount of chemical that you're exposed to, you have less chance of developing these diseases that are linked to glyphosates. Farmers don't really have much of an alternative because as of right now, glyphosates are one of the only products that are non-specific herbicides that kill any type of weed. But one suggestion that we do have is to consult to consult agronomists and to come up with a mix of herbicides specific to certain regions that can kill those weeds. That does take extra time and more work, of course. But as of right now, that is one of the only solutions to glyphosates in terms of alternatives for Roundup. Some recommendations for lawmakers. So around the globe, after the 2015 IARC study, we've seen places like Spain and Italy put restrictions on Roundup. In Italy, what they did was they restricted the use of Roundup in public areas. And in Germany, they began a phase out of Roundup, meaning they want to eventually stop using it by a certain year, and they start using less and less of it every single year. And many other European countries have placed a ban on Roundup. Over here in the US, it differs by not even much on the state level, it differs by city even, how Roundup is being regulated. In California, after the case with the school groundskeeper who developed a very severe case of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, they began putting warning signs on every single Roundup bottle, and they also restricted the use of Roundup in certain universities and public spaces like University of California. And yeah.
So a lot of the reasons that Roundup and glyphosate was used so heavily with very minimal restrictions over the years was due to many studies that were not valid that were done by Monsanto themselves. So one thing that the government and lawmakers can do is they can work to make more restrictions on these products, as Safiya said, but also fund research that is valid and unbiased. So in the future, we can have a concrete answer of what exactly Roundup does. I mean, we know it is harmful, but the more research and awareness that is generated around this issue, the better. And also, they could put money and funding into labs and universities who want to find an alternative or substitute for this product. So you might think that, oh, I'm just a person. What can I do to stop the use of Roundup? So, first of all, you can start by asking your local government what they're using on public lands such as parks or trails. Um, and this is important because if they are using Roundup, you can petition or vote for the end of use of this. You can do this by attending town halls or even talking to your city council. It is important that you do this because it is your taxpayer dollars that are going into the maintenance of these lands, and you do have a right to know what you're going to be potentially exposing yourself to when you're simply trying to go for a stroll or a walk or enjoy public areas. You want to keep the area around where you live nice, obviously, and this is a good first step to doing so. And slowly, as more and more cities generate more laws against the use of Roundup in public areas, the more cities that do that, the more broad this legislation can be implemented across the U.S. and around the world. So thank you so much.